All right, guys, we are in the Odom, Texas area. Looking at a plot that we have been flying drones on all season. And what's really unique and why we selected this field is they have a tremendous amount of iron chlorosis issues. And so we were able to put all of our hybrids in here to see kind of how they perform. And iron chlorosis can cause stunting, overall loss of the plant, or it can just be minor cosmetics. It just really depends on the severity. But what we have behind me is just one of those pockets. And we can see here that it's definitely showing a lot of stunting. In fact, many of the sorghum plants are not even going to head out. And the ones that are so delayed, sorghum midge is going to leave them as blanks. Additionally, when we have stunting plants, we leave bare soil for weeds. And we see a tremendous amount of the Texas panicum that we've been talking about all season. And so up here in that middle coast area near Nueces County, Corpus Christi region, this season has been plagued by a cold spring, which let us have a lot of iron chlorosis issues and some slow growth early in the season. And that has led to large pockets of weed issues. And this is causing big spaces in the field to have very little yield potential. In areas without the iron chlorosis, we're going to see high yields. We're going to see big heads like you see behind me as it cleans up, comes out of this pocket, this little lens of iron issues, and you see good yield potential throughout the field. But this is one of the problems that we're battling right here. So when we were up in Taylor, Texas, up in Central Texas, I talked about some of the different weed species we see. We see a lot of panicum down here. That's a grass weed. That's a big problem in sorghum in this area. Right here we have another issue. This is devil's claw. This is a very large pocket of devil's claw. And we remember looking at the type of seed that it had. It can spread prolifically throughout. We can see the small fruits in there. They form that hook and ultimately will grab onto anything that passes through. We're gonna get out of the field. We're gonna get into the truck, go up to Victoria. We got some sorghum that's just about ready right there.
I'm driving down an empty freeway. No waiting for the light to change. I'm seeing the sunrise behind me.
All right, we're back up the coast a little bit. Victoria again at one of the locations. This is the last time we'll be visiting this to take any kind of notes. But what we want to do right now is just kind of get eyes on it. We have some folks coming in from out of the country to look at some trials starting next week. So we just want to kind of make sure everything's in line. Right here we're in our competitor block. They look pretty strong, but we're seeing even the talls in other hybrids as well. All right, right here is the last of our competitor checks. It's a decab hybrid, strong performer in this area, good sugarcane aphid tolerance. It's a very good product to be growing on your farm. We have a new generation of our products right next to it. It looks like it's going to be about 6 inches taller across the board. We saw it in South Texas that performed in the same way. Very tabletop, both of them. That's really what you're looking for. I mean, you can see in this whole block right here with all the competitors that we're buying to check to. That's one of the traits that growers are looking for. Very strong aphid tolerance in this whole block. But we haven't seen any pressure of aphids the entire year so far because of all the rainfall. This is one of the early 62-day to mid-bloom hybrids. vibrant grain. I can kind of tell it's a little thin in the stand, and that's because this plot seed this year was a little low in germ, and we didn't quite compensate it for these early trials like we should. But we should have that all dialed in for the Kansas and the rest of the U.S. Shorter, stouter hybrid, but it looks like it's going to do pretty well. What we're really liking is these hybrids we have over here that are going to be the aphid tolerant, and then they're also going to be very strong in the yielding department. All right, guys, we're not going to spend a lot of time here in Victoria. We're going to be back here on Tuesday to check on everything. We got the drone flight done, and it's Friday afternoon. It's time to go get home and get a cold beer, take a shower. It's been a long day on the road, but real exciting things happening in the Upper Gulf Coast. We're seeing blank heads if you're pluming late from the midge, but if you got in on time and you planted a suitable hybrid, you're looking at some pretty good yields on grain planted in ground that drains well. If you got drowned out, it's just unfortunate, but looks like the market's going to be strong for a good grain crop here and as we move up the coast. So we'll get these updates up to you as we continue to follow the crop throughout the U.S.